Good morning, everyone. And I'm so happy to see you and to be a part of your class today. Maybe Elena Lvovna will tell a couple of words.
Yes, sure. Thank you. We are really privileged to have today Tsehelska Maryna Valerievna, Associate Professor at the Department of English Language and Methodology of Kryvyi Rih National Pedagogical University. And she is a real expert in methodology and in the modern methodology in particular. So I invite you to listen to this small talk. Maryna Valerievna, as many of our teachers, is very short of time, so it will be half an hour talk, and I believe you will have many questions. So all your questions and comments you will be able to write down, and then we will connect with Maryna Valerievna, and we hope she will kindly answer all your questions. So please, after this lecture, use the link to my classroom, which you can see in the chat of this meeting, and in my classroom in Teams, we will continue working with all the master degree students. Thank you again, Maryna Valerievna, for being so kind, for being our stakeholder, the stakeholder of our educational program for philologists. And now we are all the attention to listen to the innovative methods of teaching English. Thank you.
Thank you for having me. I'm always happy to share my ideas on what modern methods of teaching are. But before I start talking about what I do today here as a teacher, I would like to check your knowledge on what do we teach as teachers, and what is the key subject of English language teaching, and discuss a couple of approaches, and then we'll go to go down to modern ways of teaching. So my question is, what is the subject matter of English language teaching? You know that usually we teach pronunciation, listening, grammar, lexis or vocabulary, reading, writing, functional language, and speaking. And can you please think for a moment and tell how are they connected, or how they are connected? So any ideas? You may write your ideas in the chat. Okay. So I'm sorry, I need to see the chart. So you don't have any ideas, yeah? Okay. So actually, if we think of the subject matter of ELT, we should understand that according to Scrivener, who is a well-known person in the field of English language teaching, we teach about language system, and this is knowing this is what we need to know. Our students need to know something about phonology, how the sounds are produced, lexis, grammar, functions, and discourse. But the focus of English language teaching is actually on doing, on the language skills. And it is about, we teach how to, we teach how to do, we teach how to produce and how to receive the information. So actually, we need to teach productive and receptive skills. And if we look at this chart, we will see that here is knowing, here is what we know about the language, and I already told you that our students or we as teachers need to teach them how to identify some grammar rules, something about lexis, pronunciation, and discourse. But in reality, we need to focus on developing language skills, which are receptive. We receive the information first, and productive, and then we produce it. So actually, systems and skills are interrelated. We can't say that we can teach systems without skills or skills without systems, but that is how, through this interconnection, we actually teach the language. And this is quite a recent view of language teaching. Scrivener, as you see, he wrote his major works at the beginning of 2000s, and actually starting from 1990s, this approach took over. But before, there were many other teaching approaches that included grammatical, so grammar translation, situational, communicative, which Scrivener's approach is, and many others. So actually what I would like to talk today about is what we call today here informed eclecticism. It's not that in our teaching we need to stick to just one method of teaching, because the students, the modalities of teaching, how we teach, whether we teach online, offline, whether we do this mixed course, so it has changed dramatically. The students are constantly changing, especially in Ukraine, and that is how we come from Scrivener's point of view, from what is called communicative language teaching, to the era of post-communicative methods, or we call these methods informed eclecticism. Like you need to know as teachers about various approaches and methods to teaching a language, but in fact, or in the end, it's up to you to decide what you choose as a teacher and what approach is the best for you and for your classroom. So let's look at the most frequently used approaches, which are grammar translation versus communicative or action-oriented. In Ukraine, usually we either do, like most traditional teachers, they stick to grammar translation, or today's the teachers who have modern trainings or who have visited different trainings, they opt for communicative or action-oriented approach. Again, here I'm just comparing I'm not telling about advantages, and actually I am telling, but I am not inclining you to stick to this or that approach, because as we have already said, informed eclecticism is a key. This is every teacher decides for themselves what is the approach that will be better, will suit your classroom better. So, grammar translation and communicative. I hope you all know this information. I will be reading the table, but the only moment I would like to draw your attention to is this learner-centeredness. And this is what the difference between grammar translation and communicative or action-oriented approaches is. It's learner-centeredness. And today at the conferences and at different seminars, we tend to discuss this difference between teacher-centered classroom and learner-centered classroom. And I would like to suggest a different idea, like for both of this, for any type of teaching. It's neither teacher nor learner-centered. You should aim to learning-centered. Like your aim has to be the learning-centered classroom. And you as teachers decide what makes learning happen. Maybe grammar translation also will be a good choice for this class. But again, you try to center on learning. And if we look at teacher-centered and learner-centered approach, we see that they both have their advantages and disadvantages. Teacher-centered classroom is really good for a teacher. And you know that today we as teachers probably need some we need many things that really help us survive in this situation. So sometimes having a teacher-centered classroom is not that bad. However, when we have a learner-centered classroom, we usually make students responsible for what they learn. And for me, this is the key of teaching. When students are responsible for their decisions, when not a teacher but a student is responsible for knowledge gaining, for what he or she is learning, it changes the focus of the classroom. And of course, in this environment, students become facilitators and partners in learning, and also they are active participants. So I like to think of learner-centered approach or learning-centered approach, but now we're talking about learning. So I like to think about it as just let me admit other people, sorry. Sorry. So I like to think of this approach as a very important element of forming a 21st century learner and teacher as well. Because when we change the focus from teacher's responsibility to learner's responsibility, it also changes the whole approach. And it also changes our approach as well, because as teachers, we all want to do our job well, but it doesn't mean that we need to talk all the time. We just need to facilitate what our students are doing. And so now I will talk about what I am doing as a teacher and what I believe is really important when you have today's modern learners. And we'll briefly, so let me close this PowerPoint and open this one. So, and we'll briefly look at like my ideas, what we do as teachers, and how we can facilitate our students' learning and how we can make it more productive. So many people know me as a person who is really fond of thinking and working with vocabulary. And after I told you about the learning-centered approach, let's think about what makes learning effective today and how learning may be better organized. This is my favorite subject to think about, and to understand how to teach our students better, we really need to understand how our memory works. And for this, we need to think of this idea of how to put the words into our memory, like how to put all this information into our memory, and how to access this information from the memory. Because very often the matter or the problem is that we need to get the information from the memory quickly, and this is how the learning, the outcomes of the learning actually occur. So now I'm coming to my important findings and why I believe in informed eclecticism and what I do as an informed, eclectically informed teacher. So first of all, we group all the material, and this material is grouped into the maps, like I'm showing you one of the maps now. The maps contains the categories, and these categories, like as you see in the map food, will have different types of food, which are fruits, vegetables, dairy products, meat, fish, and so on. We'll have cooking utensils, how we can use or what we can use and what we can do with the utensils. Also here, there will be a really good chance for vocabulary transformation, like to peel with a peeler, a peeled apple, and so on. Also, we may talk about nutrients, about shops, and so this is actually an extra edition. We may talk about the taste of the foods and what containers the food is served in. But this portfolio map, or this map, is a map that our students need to have in their long-term memory, like here. To speak well about the food, we really need to make the robust construction in our students' head. So for this, we won't teach this vocabulary in like neither in chunks nor in groups or in high frequency words. What we will be doing, we will be getting back to this map every time our students have this topic, the topic of food. And okay, and every time we will be, when we are getting back to this topic, we will be using the so-called speaking maps that will allow our students to talk about food. Like this is a speaking map that shows us how to talk about fruits and vegetables. What group is it? It's a fruit or vegetable. What size is it? What shape? And this is a very basic map for description. Later, our students will talk about dishes and what you need for cooking a dish and assessing it. Then they will talk about recipes and they will talk about how to cook and how to serve food. And finally, they will be able to write simple recipes. But what is more important, they will be able to retain all this vocabulary in their heads. And with the help of this, let's go back to our first PowerPoint on basics of teaching. With the help of this, we will see that our approach changes from either teacher-centered or learner-centered to learning-centered, because it is easy for a teacher. It actually makes teachers' work less stressful, because the vocabulary is grouped and you have different ways of you may develop thinking skills with this map, you may develop speaking skills, you may use different ways of working with this map. And also it is learner-centered, because learners are now responsible for their own learning. They know the scope, they know the vocabulary that they need to learn, and it is much easier for them to be responsible for what they are doing, because with this methods or like with this way, we really turn to this informed eclecticism approach, because here we use both lexical approach, we do communicative language teaching, we can do task-based learning, and as a result, we don't stick to one approach only, but we develop our approaches in the way that our students will really find more productive and effective. So that's actually all that I wanted to tell you. Yeah, and I will be really glad if you have any questions and if I can answer your questions here.
Thank